Set in the climate-ravaged dystopian future where Thailand is the only nation on Earth that's still moderately functional, a mysterious and unexplained zombie outbreak occurs at a hospital where Dr. Rin works. Her boyfriend Singh, a Muay Thai expert, must battle wave after wave of the undead to rescue his beloved and, as Arnie would say, get to the chopper. Yes, get to the chopper indeed. This movie, it's just the sadness set in a different country with slightly less protagonists, right? That's the same vibe that you got too, yeah? Anyway, the setup here to the sadness, it's almost identical, I feel. The day starts off relatively normal, at least in this movie's sense, in its dystopian communist style future, with two relatively good looking characters. They are good looking, just like in the sadness. They set off to work or do other activities. An unexplained zombie outbreak occurs. Violence and death ensues. They end up at a hospital where a military botches an extraction mission. It's almost the same, but there are some key differences that set this movie apart from the sadness. Firstly, the male character in this movie is far more likable and, dare I say, intelligent, with a legitimately useful skill, even if that skill would be slightly more cumbersome during a zombie outbreak. Unlike the sadness, though, this movie is far more action-oriented, and in my opinion, that makes the film more engaging and exciting, but for you, you might look at the action a little bit differently, and I completely understand that. In this movie, we've got Singh, who's a very confident character, and he loves to use his fists, his elbows, his feet, and his knees to do a majority of the talking for him. Now, whether you like the fighting and the way it's presented on screen, that's a different question. It's a little bit over-edited for my liking, but the opening scene, it's an ambush scene, to the final moments where he's fighting the lead extraction salter while somehow managing to not bleed to death from a potentially what looked like a fatal gunshot wound. I still got the feeling that he's an exciting and moody character. I definitely liked him. But I think your tolerance of this film will be in your ability to just ignore some of the gaps in the plot and enjoy the film for the kind of popcorn nature that it is. The origins of the outbreak appear to be quite straightforward when you see what happens, but then you ask yourself, why is only one person affected? How do some people turn so quick and other people don't? Why are the zombies deaf in one scene, yet quite alert in another? And another thing that really got me is how is it that water seems to just mysteriously bring everything back to life? Is that some kind of metaphor? I have to admit though that the opening third of the movie was probably the most enjoyable for me. It gave off a bit of a Soylent Green vibe, dare I say, but with more of a modern let them eat the bugs twist. There's not much protein going around and there are a lot of cockroaches there, so if you get what I mean. There's also a little bit of the whole socialist communist vibe going on with the Mr. Vasu is our savior, the large posters full of the propaganda, and the dog-eat-dog life that these citizens seem to live, who, you know, they fight for scraps, they fight for water, and they've got electricity curfews as well. While you can see that's juxtaposed by the rich people just living their lives as normal. This to me felt like a combination of The Hunger Games with the video game BioShock. Enough with the politics though, because firstly, I'm not well versed enough in politics, and second of all, it's just a boring topic anyway. So let's get back to the movie. The movie doesn't quite match the gore and depravity level of the sadness though. So whether that's a good thing or bad thing, that's completely up to you. Personally, I was relieved not to see any eye socket sex, or the excessive over-the-top gore. That kind of couple things that really put me off the sadness. This movie's bloody, don't get me wrong, very bloody. And the hospital walls at the end and the floors just get covered in blood. But it's not at any extreme level like the sadness. So then what I think we've got here is a movie that we could call the sadness light. All the fun and silliness of a zombie outbreak with a bit of over-edited martial arts action thrown into the mix. I have to say that I've used the word vibe a lot in this review, but I have to say that's what this movie is. It's just the vibe. If you're an Australian, you'll understand what I mean. It's the vibe of things. Using my patent pending ghost rating, which stands for Great Horror or Stupid Trash, I'll give this 3 ghosts out of 5. It's a slightly above average zombie action movie where the action's it's fun, but if you're into martial arts and expecting a really good martial arts film, you're not going to get that from this. The Muay Thai scenes look good, but I think if you're someone who knows what they're looking at, it's probably not that impressive. A shout out has to go to the person at Netflix who gave the title to the movie. Just like they did with Remember, the Japanese film, I think what they've done with this film is a very clever name. So it's Ziam, set in the country of Siam, or set in the area of Siam, with zombies. So the Z from zombies replacing the S in Siam. It's clever and I really like it. Good work, Netflix. What I think is strange, that this movie seems to have debuted straight onto Netflix. There's no cinema release for this movie at all, which is a bit of a shame because it possibly would have been really fun on a big screen. Anyway, have you seen the movie? What did you think of it? I'm the Artie Danes, you are watching Shockmania. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, join the Discord group, and I'll catch you next time.